What is going on, Hive Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about 4 reasons why you should not do 1 meal a day, OMAD. Now, before you start jumping into the comment section filled of anger because of the fact that this video seems like it's a negative video towards OMAD, it is absolutely 100% not a negative video at all. And it is just a rule of thumb video for certain tendencies that people have when they diet. And remember, adherence is key. And these tendencies are being taken from multiple studies that utilize OMAD as the intervention. And I'm gonna go ahead and break it down in this video. Quickly before we start, guys, this video is brought to you by yours truly, Fledge Fitness and the Fledge Fitness Jump Rope. If you haven't gotten yours yet, what are you waiting for? With an ergonomic design, aluminum handle, and swivel design, you can't go wrong with the Fledge Fitness Speed Jump Rope. You can get that for only $16.50. You can click on the top right-hand corner of this video or down in the description box below. And of course, as always, guys, thank you so much for your support. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the video. And we're gonna jump straight into it without any hesitation. The first thing is, if you want to be able to get your nutrition from the foods that you eat. Now, there are some limitations with 1 meal a day, but there are a lot of positives that come with it in terms of weight loss, portion control, but there are limitations when it comes to nutrition, nutrients. You're going to have to make sure that you supplement or are very diligent and very focused in how you consume your nutrients, how you actually get your nutrients throughout the day. Usually, the case is that if you are doing 1 meal a day, you would have to apply some type of alternative in terms of other things like making sure you get full potassium, vitamin C, fiber, all of those things without exploding because you're simply eating in just 1 meal. Getting all of the nutrients that you need from all of the different sources of foods is pretty difficult if you do not supplement for that. And if that supplementation, for example, if you need more protein, using protein powder, just having to use all of those supplements to your diet, if that's something that you're not looking to do aggressively, well, then I would definitely say that you should not do the 1 meal a day diet, and you should probably maybe look at other ways of doing intermittent fasting. Alternate day fasting is a good alternative where you can fast for long periods of time, but then you also get a good chunk of time to get all of those nutrients in that you need for the day. Now let's go ahead and jump into number 2, when you want to build muscle. Now, it isn't to say that you cannot build muscle when doing intermittent fasting or 1 meal a day, but it isn't optimal because when it comes to muscles, there are certain triggers for protein synthesis. One trigger is being at a caloric surplus. That can help you be more, that can help you have more protein synthesis, as well as exercising. That also increases protein synthesis, making you more anabolic throughout the day as you ebb and flow through anabolism and catabolism. You want to make sure that at the end of the day, you're net positive with your anabolism so that you can ensure that you are constantly going up and not going down in terms of muscle tissue. But one of the things that help with muscle growth and help with protein synthesis is meal frequency. And you can't get any lower with meal frequency than 1 meal a day. So if you want to do intermittent fasting, but you also want to build muscle, I would recommend bare minimum or bare maximum to go ahead and do the 16 hours of fasting with 8 hours of eating for the time that you are building the muscle. When you're building the muscle, that you want to have more hours of eating. And I think 8 hours of eating gives you more leeway, more freedom to build on that protein synthesis and add to the muscle building through that and creating more anabolism versus more catabolism for the entire day. Number 3, and this one is more an obvious one, but one that some people actually try to fight against. If big meals are too uncomfortable for you to eat, if they make you nauseous, if you just can't find your way to the calories that you're supposed to get, and you're constantly chronically under eating, so you're under eating a lot, then I would definitely recommend to up it to something else. Maybe even the 4 hours of eating, 20 hours of fasting, or you can increase it even more, whatever is comfortable for you in terms of getting the amount of calories that you need. Remember, the goal should not just always be to lose weight as quickly as possible and screw everything else. If you're under eating, that is bad for your health, as well as you are not giving your body the amount of calories that it needs to function properly. And also, if you're not getting your nutrients, as we mentioned in the first part. So if you're under eating because you just can't do it, it makes you nauseous, it's too difficult, it's too much food for such a small time frame, you're getting full too quickly, I definitely would recommend extending your fast. So that way you can actually be able to eat all the things that you want throughout the day and not feel uncomfortable doing it while still getting a fast in for the day. And number 4, if you're not able to stick to a consistent time schedule for when you eat during that 1 meal a day system. So for example, some people do it in a sporadic kind of fashion. They'll just say, hey, when I go to sleep and wake up, that's another day. And any time during that day, I can eat my 1 meal. It doesn't work as efficiently if you do it that way. It actually works better if you pick one specific time and you eat that one time throughout the entire day, and then you come back to that same time the next day. That's when it works best. If you find yourself constantly flip-flopping, but within a small time range, maybe an 8-hour time range, maybe do the 16-8, because that falls within your time range and you have more flexibility to eat earlier or later or during the midday for some days versus others. Or do the OMAD diet, which is a more flexible version, splicing both the 1 meal a day diet and the warrior diet, which is 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating, where you essentially eat once every day, but within that 4-hour range, and you never come out of it. So you're at most fasting for 24 hours plus, but you're never fasting for less than 20 hours. So those are the top 4 reasons why you shouldn't do OMAD. However, keep in mind that OMAD is still very powerful and a very good tool for weight loss. And if you can manage those things that I just mentioned, you can be very successful with 1 meal a day. For some people, it is easy to eat all of those calories in one shot. For others, it is not. But keep in mind that all of this information was taken and compiled from studies in terms of the dropout rates and what they responded during those questionnaires for those dropout rates, coming from meta-analysis studies, as well as other studies looking at 1 meal a day where they applied a control group to compare and contrast. Hopefully this video was very helpful for you. And of course, as always, I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and put their names right up here.